Hello everybody! It's August 15th, 2022. This is Stitch With Me, where we're stitching week 3 of our Welcome Autumn SAL from Primrose Cottage Stitches. I hope everyone had a great weekend. We've been chatting in the chat. I do have a little poll up seeing where everybody's at. If you finished, if you're stitching along with me tonight, if you're stitching something else, if you're just here to chat, welcome. I'm so glad you guys are all here. We, like I said, are going to be on week 3. This is a pretty easy week. It's the text and the little acorns. I know you can stitch ahead if you want to. Do whatever you want to do. As I always say, I'm super low-key about this stitch along. I want it to be fun for you. Let's see. There was something I saw in the chat that I wanted to talk about. Oh, yes. Shannon Christine Patterns. So if you are in her group on Facebook, she does have some Christmas patterns. Let me show you. I showed in my Flosstube that went up yesterday that she is releasing on Mondays a little free ornament. I'm going to flip my camera around. So I stitched this little cute guy. It's the polar bear. I did not use any of the called for color. I just used fancy floss I had. But each week she's releasing a new one, and today was Santa. So definitely head over to Shannon's Facebook group because it's really nice that she is offering us these cute little freebies. I said in my Flosstube, I stitched this up in a little under 3 hours. It would have been quicker. I had a little trouble. I stitched the bear and then I did all of the brown for the wreath, and spacing and counting was real hard for me Friday night. So it took me a little longer, but it's really quick and easy. And I wanted to show you, I'm going to turn mine into ornaments. These are some circle sticky boards that Fat Quarter Shop just came out with not too long ago. And I picked them up because they're great for ornaments. I guess they're going to be doing something probably closer to the holiday season. But I just wanted to show you. I was super excited. Obviously, it's going to look nicer than this, but these sticky boards will fit these ornaments. So if you want to make ornaments and you don't want to cut your own sticky board, these are the way to go. I did link these down in the description below if you're interested. I literally just figured this out. Just figured this out before I went live. I bought these and then I was like, I wonder if these will fit. And so I wanted to show you that. I will be putting batting because I want my ornament to be puffy, but this will give it some stability. So that is that. I wanted to let you know. Nancy says frog along for me. That's hilarious. Let's see. Stacy's in the kitchen canning this evening. That sounds lovely. Okay, the other thing I just wanted to show you, you guys are going to get the first peek. It's not done. You can see I've got my needle poked into my pillow and I've got my chenille trim here. Boo Crew is a pillow now. Ah, isn't it cute? I actually really love it. I was a little worried, but I think it's going to be super cute. So I should have this done by next week's Flosstube, but I thought I'd show you guys a little sneaky peek of what I'm working on. This is the Lady Dot Creates Jack trim, chenille trim, and I literally just pinned it on and just started stitching it. So there's not a lot to see there. Okay, I'm going to move that. I do want to remind you guys, and I think I have this info in the chat as well, or pardon me, in the description, that Primrose Cottage is hosting a stitch along this month as well for their Toil and Trouble pattern. And I actually got a little stitching done on this last night. So super, super fun, super cute. I'm still behind. That's okay. But I'm loving it. And I wanted to mention it in case you finished Welcome Autumn and you're looking for something else to stitch. Okay. I love the Boo Crew stitch. It is so much fun. And it's a free chart from Fat Quarter Shop in case anyone doesn't know. So you can head over there and stitch it at any time. Donna says, not stitching anything right now, trying to figure out her next project, instead crocheting a poncho. Awesome. I always have something I want to stitch, I swear. So, always, always. Julie says, yes, must get those. Probably about the circle sticky board. So good. I can flip this around too. Okay, I do have a new floss tube up. I was late getting it up this week again. Maybe I should just stop saying I'm late and that's just what time it goes up. Sunday night. But anyway, lots to do here. Oh my goodness, Shimon says hello from the break room at work. Hello. If you have a question tonight, please put question in all caps. That will just help me see it as I start stitching. Oh, the big thing. If you're here and you're wondering why you can't chat, I made the chat subscribers only. So please subscribe to the channel. I believe you have to be subscribed for 5 minutes before it lets you chat. I'm hoping that takes care of the trolls. I have never had a troll problem in a live, but I usually do my lives in the morning. So I don't know if that was it, but we have had it the last 2 weeks. So I've made this subscribers only going forward. I'm tired of having to stop what I'm doing, losing my train of thought. No one wants to deal with that. I don't want to deal with reporting. You guys don't want to deal with reporting. We just want to stitch. So I just wanted to let you guys know that if you're here and you're not a subscriber and you wonder why you can't chat while I'm live, that is why. So please subscribe and then you can chat. Oh, I think I completely messed up my chat. Let me see. Judy says, do you have to stitch the chenille trim on by hand? No, but I like to. I don't want to hot glue it. It's pretty dainty. For me, it's worth it to stitch it on. And I will be having, I'm going to finish our Welcome Autumn like that, so I will have a tutorial, but I am hand stitching it. You wouldn't have to. If you want to glue it on, like I would probably not use hot glue, but maybe like is it the Aleene's glue? Am I saying that right? Something like that. You could probably try it. I would try it on something else first, like maybe mock up something and just see if that works, because I don't know. I've never done it where I've glued it on. I've only sewn mine on. Oh, good. Deb said she ordered 2 of the ribbon holders I talked about in my floss tube. They're so good. I love them. I finally love my ribbon because it's always a nightmare, and it's been a nightmare for forever. So I'm really, really excited. I hope you love them. Jeannie says in between projects and loves this one, so maybe might get it soon. You should, and it's a really fast stitch. I know we're spreading it out over a month, but you could catch up in no time. Let's see. Oh, Trisha, I am so sorry for your loss. My thoughts and prayers are with you. Okay. I think that we are going to go ahead and get everything started. Oh my gosh, Kelly, waiting for a needle minder to arrive. Blue enamel that says my wand chose me. Where did you get it? You're going to have to text me and let me know. Oh my gosh. Lisa, that's totally fine. You're still working on the border. I promise there is no rush. And luckily, this replay will be there. And that reminds me, replay crew, thank you guys. Thank you for catching it when you can. I know this isn't a convenient time for everyone. So I appreciate you catching the replay, watching it on your own time whenever it works great for you. And then the finishing tutorial will also be up so that you can watch it whenever you can. Stephanie, where did you get the needle minder? I got it from Fat Quarter Shop, and I believe it's in the description down below. I absolutely love it. It's my fall needle minder. Let's see. I'm going to see if there's anything else here, and then I am going to get started stitching. Oh, good. Darlene says restarting cross stitch love, but still at work. Can't wait to start. Yes. Okay, Kelly, thank you for texting me that. It'll come in and I'll have to want to look at it right away. Okay. I'm going to flip this around. I swear, I really need to. Let me grab a cloth real quick. It isn't until I get ready to go live that I even notice that my magnifier does not look clean. Well, we're just going to do that for now. It needs a better cleaning. Let me see what it looks like. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, good. Trying to make sure you guys can see it. If at any time it is really hard to see what I'm doing or I'm not close enough, please let me know. I did have a request, I think it was on YouTube, and the request was to show how I start and finish on the back. And so I am going to show you that. First, I am going to roll up my excess fabric. I left quite a lot of fabric here. Normally I wouldn't leave that much. Do I not have a clip? Where do you suppose I put that? I've got more in here. Luckily we're in here where I sew, so I'm just going to roll up part of my fabric to help keep it out of the way. And I am going to show you, Christine says just cleaned hers. Yeah. I'm going to show you how I start. So where I'm going to start, and I'm going to show you on here, I'm going to start right about here on autumn. I'm going to work my way up, kind of as I've done all along. I started with the border and up, pumpkins up. I'm going to start with the word autumn. So I just need to figure out where that little leg of the A starts. So let me count real quick. Looks like 1, 2, 3 of the dark. So I'm going to come up through the back of my fabric, and I am going to show you how I catch my ends of my floss. So I'm going to pull it. I'm going to leave quite... Actually, I'm going to pull it all the way through my fabric. No. Let's start again. It's so fun being live. All right. You know what we're going to do? Let's take the needle minder off. All right. I'm going to leave a pretty long tail. It's not going to end up being that long, but that's just so I can catch it. I'm going to hold it with my fingers to make my first little stitch. And this is that leg of the letter A. Oh my goodness, Tracy says hubby ordered her light. Oh gosh, that's not right. And it should be here Wednesday and she's so excited. Oh, that's so much fun. Okay. Let's make sure that I'm going in the right place. Okay. So I'm going to just come all the way to the back of my fabric. That's when I start. I always start like this. Okay. And then let's just kind of look at it. Sorry. I'm a hot mess tonight. So this is where I'm going to come up. Now I'm going to flip my fabric over. And I'm going to leave a loop. So I've got my tail and my loop. I'm going to just kind of take that tail and pull them through the loop. But again, I don't need that long of a tail. So now I just kind of carefully pull it. So I'm just leaving a tiny little tail, like maybe a 1/2 inch. Sometimes I leave less than that. And I just want to catch that end right there. And I've caught it. And I'm going to go ahead and complete my X, which in this case, there's only one stitch right here for the leg of the A, but I would complete that. I usually complete that first stitch because I feel like it secures my stitch. Donna Marie says, I love stitching text. Me too. What is that? I could do it all day. So fun. Just briefly, I thought I maybe used the wrong color, but I think this is the right color. Wouldn't that just be wonderful if I picked the wrong? No, this is the right one. So I have a poll in the chat for you guys tonight, seeing who's done, who's working on something else, who's just here to chat. Kelly, thank you for being human. Oh, Kelly, you know, you've seen it. You've seen my other lives. It happens all the time. Well, hi, Amy from Shawnee, Kansas. You're not too far from me. Jan says, question, please repeat the name of the shop that sells the chenille trim on Etsy, lady.creates. So text is always just, there's really not a right or wrong way. I will say that. I feel like just do whatever works best for you. I think we're going to start and build around the loopy part of the letter A. Oh, P Happy says, because letters are instant gratification. You know, that's probably true. That's a really good point. I'd never thought of it that way. I like that. Diane, you are not that late. Hello. Let's see. Debbie says, I'm stitching The Gather In by Plum Street. Oh, I love that one. Awesome. Oh, thank you, Donna. I love those new bee products from Colorado Craft Company. So those cards were so much fun to create. So much fun. I loved them. They were a lot different than some other bee product out there. Tracy says, question, have you ever used 28 count Jobeline fabric? No, I don't believe I have. I've used 28 count, but not that particular fabric. So if you guys have been looking at sneak peeks from Needlework Expo that's going to be here at the end of the month, tell me what you're most excited about besides the Tiny Town Halloween from Heart and Hand, because that one is like my for sure go-to, but I would love to know what else you guys are excited about. Diane says, just got an order from Fat Quarter Shop. I love it. And their shipping is so fast. And their packaging is so nice. P Happy says, Lady Dot Creates has such nice trims. The vintage rickrack is wonderful. I agree. I know I've shown the chenille here because that's what I'm going to use, but I did buy some other things from her, and all of it is absolutely beautiful. Lisa says, question, what color chenille trim? I am using Bird's Nest for this finish. It's kind of a brown color. I will show it to you. Hold on. But the orange that I showed a minute ago is called Jack. If you are a member of my Facebook group, I did show a breakdown. I had a member ask about color because she wants to use the Jack chenille for her pillow finish. And I said I have that one, and I also had the, I think it's Rusty Nail that she asked about, and so I did a little comparison. I can probably pop it up here in the YouTube community page too when we're done. Jeanette, the chenille's really small. It's not very thick. Okay, let me show you the color. Is it Bird's Nest or, yeah. I also have this color though. This is, oh, whoops. This is Bear and this is Bird's Nest, but I'm using Bird's Nest. It's super thin, but I promise it adds just the right amount. I don't want my pillow to be a ton of trim. So if you want something thicker, you might want to look for something else. It just really depends on what kind of look you're wanting for your pillow finish. Oh my gosh, Nana's Legacy, I was just starting to watch Teresa's video and I didn't get very far. I think she was just showing the little star ornaments. That's all the further I got. So let me see her new book coming out for Halloween Expo. Yeah, I'm going to have to finish watching that when I'm done. Sue, yeah, fabric is hard. So, she said Fat Quarter Shop is out of stock and it won't be in stock till September. Couple things. September isn't that far away, and fabric is super hard. It's one of those things that shipping wise has been really difficult for shops. So we kind of just have to give some grace and some patience because it's out of their control, unfortunately. Sleeveless for way too long. Is one package enough? Oh, more than enough. Yes, for sure. Of the chenille trim, I'm assuming. More than enough. Laura says, beginner question, but when you make your stitch, are you going over and up one hole? So I will say, because I am stitching, it might be a little different than what you normally think, because you might have, when you learned or whatever, you may have started at the top and worked down. So if I will give you an example, I am stitching 2 strands of floss over 2 threads. So I come up in one hole here, and then I am going to skip one, and we're going to go in the next one on the diagonal. So basically we're whoops, I keep bumping that, stitching over 2 threads. And I will try to do that slow. Sometimes I get to stitching and talking and I'm probably doing it too fast. And I'm stitching 1x at a time because I'm building a letter. This is DMC floss, so if I had like a big pumpkin, I would stitch the whole row across. But this is kind of how I stitch my letters. And then I need to go down and fill these in. And yes, you can for sure use a 14 count. Oh, you can, yes, for sure use Ada. In fact, I feel like maybe that was on. Let's look. Yes, that's one of their not recommended, but they have, do you see there? It says 14 count, what size the finish will be, 16 count, 18 count. I just picked 25 count. The sample was stitched on 16. I picked 25 count because I like 25 count. You can pick whatever you want. You do not have to stitch it just like I'm doing. Definitely pick a fabric you enjoy. So one of the things about when I stitch, and maybe, I don't remember, I hope I talked about this in week 1. I picked the bottom and worked my way up. I don't always do that. The pattern really dictates for me where I start. Because it was a straight line, it's really easy to measure where you start with that particular, it's really easy to start there because it's a straight line. So you can see here on the pattern, this wasn't a square corner. I probably could have started here, but this is just a very good place to start. So that's where I started, just because I thought that was a good place to begin. You definitely don't have to, but when I do that, so as the weeks progress, I don't generally like to skip around too much, because if I do, my count is often off. If I can stitch close to where I am at, for me, it more ensures that I am not missing or skipping or not counting right. I can just tell you from experiences. But if you feel comfortable skipping around, you can do that. Barbara says, question, I finished Welcome Autumn, now stitching Hive Rules. Oh, fun. Will you be showing how you finish Hive Rules? I will. I have this stuff. I just haven't had a chance to finish it yet. I bought some things for it. I don't know if I'm going to finish it that way, but we'll see. I laid out a bunch of stuff. I'm auditioning fabric and ribbon and some other things. But when I do finish it, I will share on Flosstube. I'm kind of hoping to finish it for next week, but don't hold me to that. Sleepless for way too long says 25 count is my favorite, but I finally got up to my groove with 24 work, or 20, is it 24, 28? Working my way up to 32 and that yummy pink Lugana with white dots that I showed. Oh my gosh, yes. I actually really like 32 count. I'm kind of surprised. I didn't know that I would. But yeah, I'm excited to use that pink Lugana. That's right, Gina says there is no cross-stitch police. Thank goodness, that is right. I say do whatever works best for you. I'll show you what I'm doing. It does not mean it's right. It does not mean, okay, here's a good example. So if I just stitch this and I need to stitch another square right on top of this one, if I come back in this hole right here, I just came down that one and the stitch will come out, it'll pop out. So I just start in that opposite diagonal and I pull down. So my stitches are still going the correct direction. I'm still doing like the left first and then coming back from the right to the, I'm going left to right and then right to left. That's how I do mine. You don't have to. There again, there's no police there if you do it the opposite way. I know in our Facebook group we had several talking about that, but that way the stitch doesn't pop out. So you might see me doing that as we're stitching along since I'm going up. Oh, good. Let's see. Leah says, finished Welcome Autumn last night and starting first 25 count, adjusting a little learning curve for me. There was one for me too when I started, for sure. And doing This Is Halloween by Primrose Cottage. So cute. Oh, I love This Is Halloween. Let's be real. I love everything Primrose Cottage does. Donna says 32 count is evil for my old eyes, but love the look. Yeah. Okay, some of those super high counts, I don't know how people do it. It makes my eyes go crossed. Even with the magnifier. I love it though. It's so beautiful. Oh, thank you, Lori. That's so nice of you. Oh my goodness. Sandy said I started The Boss of Your Quilt by Lori Holt for a Christmas present for one of my closest friends. The pattern came Friday. I love that. That's so much fun. I'm probably going to have to start again because I don't really want to travel this far for the next letter. I normally try to be a little more stealthy with my lettering so I'm not having to start and stop so much, but that's okay. Julie says same here about Primrose. They have the cutest patterns. I can't wait to see what they come out with either. Woo, we got an A done. All right, I don't want to travel all the way from here over here. Hello, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this under. Sometimes maybe I'll just do this. So this is my cheater way. This is probably not correct, but I do this anyway. I just go under and I don't actually snip it, and then we can just come over here and start. Again, I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not. This is just what I do. Oh my goodness, Cassie said, so excited, got her Halo Go. That is awesome. Lisa says, question, I love that 32 count pink Lugana, but not comfortable with that yet. Do you have a different suggestion? I haven't stitched in 30 plus years, just getting used to Ada again. I think that there is some Ada in that same pattern. I will look when this is over and see what I can find. If you remind me in the comments when the live is over, I can definitely answer that, or I can answer it in next week's Flosstube. I'm thinking that there is an Ada in that, but I could be wrong. I'll see what I can find. Lighting is the most important for sure. Hello, Robin. Let's see. Beth says close to finishing. This is Halloween. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm glad you have some stitching to kind of keep you busy while you're going through that. Let's see. Stephanie goes, I have done that for years. No problems with working the thread under. I feel like if I'm working it under, at least it's not just dragged across the back. Question, Julie, when you get to those higher count materials, do people then stitch over 4, or are they truly working those teeny tiny holes over 2? I believe they are working over 2, but I could be wrong. You guys can let me know in the chat, but I think that they are working over 2. What is the Expo? Teresa says. So if you are here from the world of paper crafting and you know what CHA is, I believe that Needlework Expo is very similar. It is where the pattern designers and thread companies and fabric companies can all set. It's like a vendor where the vendors set up and then the stores can come in and buy the product for their stores. And correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, if you know, I believe they said that this is online only right now. Stephanie says some work over 2, but some can work over 1 thread also. I love the look of those little teeny tiny stitches. I really want to try not on that high count, but like on a 25 count, I'd love to try a 1 over 1 just for fun. Jeanette says it's over 2 with 1 thread. Thank you. Yes, and Teresa said that too. Thank you guys. Donna says the pink dot is Fabric Flare at Fat Quarter Shop if you want to look for it. Sandy, sometimes I just can't count either. Counting is hard. Oh, thank you, DB Designs. It's so fun. So many of us have just... Let's fix that. There we go. So many of us have just come back to cross stitch after a huge break. I started up about 1.5 years ago again, like kind of crazy. I did it quiet crazy. And then I decided I might as well just share with all of you guys that I'm stitching. Why not, right? I love it. Maureen says it's Zoom again this year. Thank you. I thought that that's what I heard, but I didn't want to misspeak. Oh, Catherine, I know. I'm excited to see the Expo surprises. I'm just excited. I always love everything new. I mean, don't we all? Let's see. Susie says, hi, I'm watching but not stitching tonight. I'm going to order this light for so many reasons. Oh, you're going to love it. I think whether it's this light or another light, whatever the case may be, I mean, I really love this one. That's why I've promoted it, because I've actually used it and love it. It has made the biggest difference in my stitching out of everything. I can't believe that I was struggling in the evenings and squinting. I just feel like I'm so much more productive now. Why did I resist for so long? You're going to love it. I'm excited for everybody just getting theirs. Let's see. Karen says, I did mine 2 threads over 1, so mine was small. Oh, I think smalls are so cute. Thank you, Whitney. She said correct on both. Thank you. I don't ever want to say wrong. I thought that's what I heard. So thank you guys for confirming. Teresa says, I'm a card maker, so you understand. Yes. So it's very, very similar to that. It's where all the new stuff is released. So you can kind of understand like the excitement if you're coming from the paper crafting world and how we get so excited seeing what new companies are coming out with. It's the same thing. Karen, yes, this is the Halo Go Light. I've linked it down below, the exact one I'm using. Maureen has a really good point. She said some designers will say on the pattern if it's stitched over 1 or 2. If it's stitched over 2 or 1 with 1 or 2 threads on the higher counts of fabric. Definitely always read your pattern before you start. If you're a quilter, and you are going to know this already, you should always read your pattern before you start. So look at the pattern, see what they stitch theirs on, see if that's what you want to stitch yours on, whether it's that color or not. Maybe you want to, stitch on 14 count or whatever. See what that is. Make sure you do the fabric calculator, the cross stitch calculator, to figure out how big your design will be. Figure out if you want to use the called for floss or if you would like to use something else. A lot of times, a lot of companies will have like a DMC and then a fancy floss, or they will have done the example in fancy floss, but then they'll have a DMC conversion. Kind of figure all of that out and before you start. I always kind of like to check the pattern out first, dream about it, think about it before I buy my supplies. Christine, that is exactly why I started. Thank you. She said, so happy I decided to share. It's supported many of us to start again. That makes me so happy. This is like my happy relaxation. It's nice and it's portable. I can take it with me. I can do it in the car. I could do it at the doctor's office. I could do it at the hair salon. That's what I did last month. Probably will take it with me again tomorrow. It's portable, relaxing. I don't really have to think a whole lot beyond counting. And we've already discussed sometimes counting is hard. But let's see. Kelly says, do you wash your fabric before stitching? I've seen different opinions. I've seen different opinions too, and I'm going to tell you I do not. I do not wash my fabric before stitching or after. You can definitely read up and decide for yourself what you'd like to do, but I do not do either. I do wash my hands before I get started. Always. Like before we went live, I ran and washed my hands. I always try to keep my hands clean. I'm clicking right along on this autumn. Connie says the Halo Go Light is a game changer. It has been for me. I mean, like literally, it's my favorite thing I've bought in a while. I can't imagine not using it. Catherine goes, I'm a lefty. I'm banned from stitching in the car. Oh no! Teresa says, started back a few months ago. Julie says, question, do you take your light to the salon too? No, I don't. I do not. First of all, the lighting is really good there, and I'm there during the day, so I don't. But I have taken it in the car when I had to sit and wait for my son. Although, he's driving now, so I think my days of having to sit and wait for him are over for the most part. But you definitely can take it with you if you want to. Carrie says, I have been stitching over 45 years and have never washed my fabric. That is a fantastic testimonial. Diane says, I finished the Welcome Autumn, first time stitching on 25 count Lugana and the fabric puckered a bit. Will it flatten out when I iron the interfacing? I would not put the interfacing on it until you've ironed it out. If you iron the interfacing on, it is going to stay puckered. It's probably the stitches are a little too tight, which can happen when you're stitching either like if you're stitching a new way, if you stitch in hand, or if you're stitching on a new fabric. I would take a pressing cloth and put your project face down and iron it out and try to get those puckers out. I think they should come out. But I would try to get them out before putting the interfacing on. Yes, Susie, it is under $100. It should be anyway. That's what it has been. I really hate that they change the price of things from day to day. It's not gas. Let's just keep it at the price. Unless it's like Black Friday and we've got a nice sale going on. Donna says, what is the best thing about living in Kansas? I probably just mentioned it. Yes, our gas prices were high, like double what they were a year ago, but they were not like they were on the East or West Coast. No, the real best thing, I think I come from a farming background, so kind of the rural type living. I don't know. I think that is the best thing. Sharon says, just did a road trip and took my light. Didn't need the light, but definitely needed magnifying glasses. That's my next thing I need to get. I know my friend Karen told me she got some, and I think I need to get some of those to take with me, like when I'm out and about. I think they'd be a lot less, obtrusive or whatever than the light would be. It's a good idea. Let's see, Camping Stitcher Karen started to stitch Fall on the Farm by Little House Needleworks. I love that. Amy says Kansas City barbecue. I don't know that I've ever had that. Sue said the Halo Go was 111 this AM. Really? Do not like that Amazon does that. I really don't. Connie said she made her first project bag and it turned out so good. Oh, I love that. All right, I got to get some more floss. Yes, Sue says it's $99. That's what I paid for it, so hopefully it stays there. Let's see. Oh, I totally missed that. Nana's Legacy. Have you ever stitched a whole pattern without any mistakes? I'm still waiting for that. I'm still waiting for that too. The answer is no. But I'm okay with it. I just figure it's part of the process. What I like is when I catch it right away. What I don't like is when I have stitched a whole bunch and I have to rip out a ton. Of course, no one likes that, right? Christine says, do you bend your needle when stitching? I do. You know what? I actually have not. I don't know if it's the needles I use or what. I know I used to bend needles quite a bit, but no, I don't notice my needles bend. Samantha says, I have done the A and the U. Now to sip my morning coffee. That is awesome. Oh my gosh, Nan, you grew up in Liberal, Kansas. It's not close to me now, but it's close to where I grew up. I grew up in Dodge City. That's right. White Earth, Boot Hill, the whole shebang. For everyone, it's not really like that. That's the question we get a lot from people. No, it is not like the movie. But the main street in Dodge City is called Wyatt Earp, so funny. That's where I grew up. It's not where I live now, but I did live most of my life in Dodge City. So yes, I have been to Liberal so much. Obviously for sports and stuff, when I was in high school, when my older two kids were in high school, constantly. When my daughter played volleyball, one week I was in Liberal. Let's see, my son was playing football. My oldest son was playing football. My daughter was playing volleyball, and I was in Liberal 4 times that week. 4 times. So many times. Oh, Melody, what a great way to use your gift card from your boss for the Halo Go. I love that. Joe says, do you guys store your patterns by designer or theme? I find myself sorting the children, in quotes, several different ways. Oh my gosh. First of all, I love that you called it children. That's funny. I decided to store mine by designer, so because I felt like that was how I searched to make sure I wasn't doubling up. I could see the benefit of putting like all fall together, all Halloween together, all Christmas together, but I didn't. I did break mine down by designer. Susie, I think it will help your eyes so much. I love it. I just think a light magnifier of some sort is so helpful. It makes it a much more enjoyable process. Susie says, are you using the zippered mesh bags from Simon Says Stamp for your projects? I am. With the exception of maybe a couple I've gotten from Fat Quarter Shop. I have a lot of them. And so instead of spending, my stitchy money on bags, I just use them because I have them. Now, the benefit of that is they're all the same size, so they line up really nicely in a basket. And like nothing is off in a different size or whatever. But they're nothing fancy, but they work fantastic for that. And like I said, I had a bunch of them, and they work great. They keep everything together. But I had a viewer mention, and then I know Shari text me and said she went to Walmart and got them. Walmart has them, and they're very similar for cheap. So if you're looking for some of those mesh zippered bags, check out Walmart. Cindy, better late than never is my motto. Yes, Nan says, you guys in Garden City. Yeah, Garden City. Oh, Garden City. Man, I moved 3 years ago now. This July was 3 years. Feels like a lifetime ago, though. Crazy. RC stitches, so many stitches, so little time. Isn't that the truth? And I always think I am going to be so much quicker than what I am. Why is that? I know in my mind I'm like, oh, I can stitch this up in an evening. No, girl, you cannot stitch this up in an evening. Not even close. P. Happy said she just sewed up some project bags from an Elizabeth McCann tutorial, and they are fun to make. That sounds really fun. Yeah, I bought some vinyl thinking I was going to make some project bags, but you can see that I have not. Maybe one of these days. Judy says, I love the Simon Says Stamp bags for storing projects. I do too. I literally have them everywhere. I have them for card making. I have them for cross stitch. I have them for a couple of felt projects. I use them for everything. Oh, I stored like cards, Christmas cards I got from people in one. So many things. I really do like them because you can kind of see through them too. Let's see, Susie said, stop by Hobby Lobby and got a 10x10 canvas for half price. It must have been her lucky day. Oh my goodness, I love that. Don't you just love when you go and things are on sale? Oh my gosh, Cindy, you're kidding. Your dad grew up in Mineola. Not many people know where that is, but I certainly do. My mom and dad's best friends lived in Mineola. So here's a funny story. I lived between Dodge City and Mineola. I lived out south of Dodge City. Like I said, I grew up on a farm. And so we were very close. In fact, my dad banked down there. The friend I was talking about, the family friends, he was the banker down there for many, many years. So yes, I know exactly where Mineola is. That is, what a small world. What a small world. Let's see, Cheryl says also have a lot of the material made ones. Oh, the project bags, but when you need some quickly, it's worth the money. Yes. Oh, thank you, RC Stitches. Text is probably the easiest thing to stitch during a live. Oh, thank you, Danielle. Says loves my pillows. Catherine, we are getting some felt projects. Oh, that's not a pretty stitch. Let's fix that. Yeah, we're going to have to go back out. Hold up real quick. Sorry, guys. I have some felt ornaments coming. Yes. I'm really excited. Donna says the mesh bags from Walmart are great. And I have heard this now from multiple people. You get 6 for $5, so definitely check those out. Oh, Jeanette says she made some of those cute bitty bags that you cross stitch on the front, and they are so cute. The ones at Fat Quarter Shop. Yes. I really like those. I think those are so cute. I could see doing one of those. Yay! Kelly's getting her project bag all put together for her letters to Santa. I love it. Donna says, have you ever traveled outside of Kansas? Yes, I have. I've been quite a few places. I've never lived outside of Kansas, but I have traveled. I have not. I really would like to go. Across the pond is where I'd really like to go to travel one of these days. Who's up for being my tour guide? So, yeah. But I haven't traveled in a while, though. I really need to go somewhere. I think we talked about this last week, didn't we? Or the week before? Yvette says, I may ask for the Hay logo for her birthday this year. Right now, she uses readers and a headlight she borrowed from her husband. Hey, I say make it work. That's awesome that he had something you could borrow. Sandy said her Walmart doesn't have them, and they looked at her like she was crazy when they asked. I've heard that too, that some don't have them and some do. Come to Australia, Samantha said. I would love to. My cousin lived there. I want to say she only lived there a year. But she loved it. I should see if she wants to go sometime. She's got little ones now. So maybe in a year or two when they're a little bit older. Although they're both in school. Oh, how fun. Susie says moving into a new home at the end of January, and she's going to turn the sunroom into her craft room with big windows, lots of light. Oh my goodness, that sounds delightful. Kelly, let's go. You could be my tour guide. I want to go. That's actually exactly where I want to go. And yes, we do need a cross-stitch cruise. When you guys hear about one, like I just saw a quilting cruise announced today and I was like, yeah, that looks fun, but I want to go on a cross-stitch cruise. Oh my goodness. Oh, awesome, Tracy. That's good. In case anyone is having trouble finding the zippered bags at Walmart, Jennifer says they are in the school section, so definitely check that school section. Yvette said found similar bags on Amazon. Nancy spent 2 weeks in Ireland and it was amazing. Oh, that sounds so fun. That's exactly what I want to do. Oh, Diane, the cross-stitch cruise is in September. That's not going to work. Dang it. Oh, how fun, P. Happy. That sounds amazing. Nancy said she just ordered some bags from Amazon for good price. Karen says, what is a cross-stitch cruise? It would be a cruise put on by probably a company or a designer or something, where you go on a cruise and you spend like your days at sea, I would imagine. I know I've been on a scrapbook cruise. It's been a hot minute, but it was many years ago, but that's what we did. Days at sea, we taught, or you attended classes, and then when you were at port, you would get to go do the excursions and things like that. So I would imagine it's just cross-stitch, but very similar. Quilting cruise does sound like a lot of packing. That's exactly what I thought, Debbie. Question, Judy says, for those who have bought the Walmart bags, what size are they? I believe they are the size of the Simon Says stamp bags, is what I've heard from some of the gals who have messaged me. Denise says, what part of Kansas do you live in? My sister lives in Wichita, and her in-laws are in Sharon. I am in Wichita, the Wichita area. So yes, you know where I'm at. Come to Australia, Christine says. So I've got a couple of votes for me to come to Australia. I would love to. Hello, Dawn. You guys, I think making this subscriber only was the best thing I could have done. What do you guys think? I think we maybe made it through an entire live without trolls. Woohoo. See, Lori G says Ireland is beautiful. Yes, I really want to go. My oldest does too, and we've kind of talked about it. Okay, Diane says the bags are the same size, just not quite as high. So I think they would still work really, really well. So many. Australia is awesome. Kelly says subscriber is the only way to go anymore, apparently. So thank you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being part of, my channel and this group. I think you're right, Kelly. Isn't that sad? So disappointing. All right, I think that's a good place to stop tonight. I about got autumn done. This is going to be quick. Let me get this out of the way. And let's see. Denise says you're a flight attendant and lay over in Wichita all the time. We need to get together. I love the cross-stitch store there. So this is embarrassing. You're a flight attendant and you've been there. I never have. We're going to have to get together. If you're here, I'll come pick you up and we can run and do it. I'm not too far from the airport. So it would be very, very easy for me. I keep meaning I'm running to the store. I have a whole stack of stuff that I want to take to that store here. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, Beth said my aunt booked a tour of Italy through Costco Travel and it was fabulous. You are about the third person who's told me that booking things through Costco Travel is really, really good. So that's interesting. It's always so fun to see what we talk about during these lives. Oh, I need to end my poll. Let's see what the poll said. So 41% is stitching along, 20% finished, and 39% was just here to chat. I love that. All right, I'm going to end that. Cool. Yes, that would be so much fun. I would love to get together. Let's see. Sasha says, I've been watching your car channel for years and now your Flosstube, the best of both worlds. Thank you. Working on You're the Boss by Lori Holt. That's such a fun one. So, so cool. Molly says, what is the cross-stitch store in Wichita? I live in Rose Hill. Oh, if you can think of the name of it, I cannot think of the name of it right now. I should. And I heard through the grapevine, I think pre-pandemic, I believe that Priscilla from Stitching with the Housewives came here. Is that right? Does someone know? Of course, I don't think I was really stitching then, so bummer. Catherine says her local cross-stitch store is only open limited hours. I do know that when I looked at the hours for the store here, I believe they're closed Sunday and Monday and then like just open in the afternoons the rest of the time, I think. I might be wrong about that. If you know the name of the store, Denise, you have to tell me because I can't think of it right now. Maybe she put it. No ghost yet at that hotel. That's funny. Diane, you're not behind. If you're working on another part of the chart, I want this to be super, super low key. Work at your own pace. Work when you can. Everyone knows that, you know, things come up and we can't always get as much done as we think. Or if you're like me, you think that you can stitch super, super speedy fast, and that is not accurate. But yes, so much fun. Thank you, Nancy. That's so sweet of you. Oh, how fun, Susie said. Susie has a store, a quilting and cross-stitch store close to her. I love that. I really need to get out more. I really need to get out more. Heart's Desire. Thank you, Denise. I knew that you would have it. Heart's Desire. Look it up on Facebook. That's where I found all the information and like their store hours and stuff. Heart's Desire. Let me see. Sandy has a great scrapbook store near her. That's awesome. That's almost unheard of anymore. Oh my gosh, they have Lawn Fawn and Hero Arts. That's amazing. Amazing. Okay, let's see. I think, unless I missed something, pop it into the chat or leave it in the comments afterwards. Thank you guys for joining me for week 3. I cannot believe we're on week 3 already. This month is flying by. Next week is going to be the final week of stitching, and then the week after, on that Monday evening, same time as our lives, I will have a premiere video for you where I finish mine into a pillow. So I will have filmed it ahead of time and edited the video, and then, but we'll chat in the live in the chat and all of that good stuff. Connie says, question, have you bought the new book on quilts by Lori Holt? I have not yet. I think they're sending it to me. If they don't, I will buy it because I do think I want to do the sew along. I told myself I wasn't going to do the quilt along. I said sew along, quilt along. The sampler quilt, but I think I'm going to. So if I don't get it, I will be buying it. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining me. Please remember to like, subscribe. If you're here, you probably already subscribed. But if you want to join us next week and you haven't, please subscribe and then you can chat with everyone. And until next week, I hope you guys have a great stitchy week and I will see you all next Monday. Bye.